We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, even though all the down years have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Run coverage excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus? Tackling the runner for a loss.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Beckham. Able to slither by. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play's supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
Yeah, from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. 1st and 10. It's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Do. Check. Crunch. Motion. Go. Mike 51. Hey, weapon. Pick your game up. Watch the eye. Out.
This is Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Mike 58, right there. You ain't going nowhere. 58, boy, 58, Mike. Check Mike.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Mack Wilson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. On 3rd down, Jackson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Jackson on 1st down. Flush to his right. They'll get this into the hands of Deion Kane. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15.
44, Mike, 44. Hey, 44.
Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise,
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
and it is cold,
it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hand.
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Let's go now. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Down to about the 22 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 22, Jackson. Got an open man, it's Washington. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Now Jones. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run it in with Jones. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Tyree Jackson, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And sometimes you just put it in the hands of your quarterback, let him take you home.
And you just know the NFL playbooks nowadays have gotten just a little bit thicker because just about everyone has a quarterback run series involved now, and we just saw the evidence of it.
Do defenses hate that?
Drives them crazy because the quarterback is usually not a guy that runs with the football. You cover everyone else, and all of a sudden he waltzes in on you.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
First down, Pittsburgh.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Here we go.
Jackson from the shotgun. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Mike, hurry! 55, Mike. It's our field. It's our field. Kings! Watch out!
Now Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns have taken the lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
58, boys, 58, Mike.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Flushed out right. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun. Mayfield dancing to his left. Got a man. That's Rashard Higgins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
20. Point it right. What's up?
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
That's right, baby.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. This complete to Jones. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Jones. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. First carry for James Conner. But he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll go with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Aaron Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Extra point now by Boswell. And an important one that is, as we are tied now early in this 4th quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Well, they got it 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down gets him a yard to the 26. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at him from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Washington's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Mayfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Alert! 55! 55! Hey, Charlie! 55! 55! 55!
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
44, Mike, 44. Man, that's trash. 44 is the Mike.
Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go, buddy.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences.
And got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Now Mayfield. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Mayfield. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, You'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
Hey, avoid 33. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98.
He'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd, carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now it's Jackson. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Jackson. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a 1st down.
And the Steelers 1st down.
So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
58, Mike, 58.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. We know there's already a spotlight on this rookie quarterback, an even bigger spotlight here in overtime of this game, a costly pick.
No doubt about that, but here's the key. Game's not over. He may very well get another shot at this thing, so now he's got to go to the sideline, hope his defense picks him up, and be ready to go back out there and maybe make a similar throw, hopefully successfully the next time.
And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. What can Mayfield do here in the OT? And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the defense as they'll burn their final one here and let that kicker stay out and think about it a bit more. So a big one coming now for Giorgio Tavecchio. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back.
A 43-yard attempt.
And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Cleveland, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.